Hi, my name's Gary Lambert, and I'm a registered nurse and health coach. And I want to talk to you a little bit about diet and nutrition. So, we have diet and nutrition, and I think they're both very different. Many of us who have tried to lose weight, because we all know that in our society, being skinny or losing weight means you're healthy. If you lose weight, you're eating a healthy diet. If you lose weight, you're on a healthy diet. If you lose weight, you're doing healthy exercises, you're being active, all of these things. But the truth is that weight by itself is a side effect of being unhealthy. And going on a 6 week or 3 month or 6 month diet to lose a certain amount of weight is only a temporary fix. We have to move past these temporary fixes and focus on our relationship with food and focus on our relationship with our bodies, because at a cellular level, most of us are unhealthy because of what we eat, how we sleep, our anxiety and stress levels, and just in general, the gravity of adulting. Getting up and working a job, maybe that's unfulfilling, getting up and paying the bills, and maybe not having enough money at the end of the day to do that one vacation or that one activity with your children. It gets to be depressing and heavy. And often in our society, we turn to food or other unhealthy coping mechanisms, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, marijuana, even anxiety medications, depression medications. All of these things are just a cover up of an unhealthy body. One of the number one reasons people in their 20s go to the doctor is fatigue and anxiety. One of the very first symptoms of metabolic dysfunction is fatigue, followed by anxiety. The reason for this is when our bodies becomes unbalanced. And when you look at the diet that these people are eating, these 20-year-olds, you can see the correlation. It's fast food. Fast food is all engineered to keep you coming back for more. I mean, McDonald's, all I have to say is it lasts forever. I know if you have children, you found that French fry that could be a year old, it could be 5 years old, but it still looks just like a French fry. And it defies logic that that was consumed by a human and could still look the same as it did 5 years later. That just tells us that whatever is in it is probably not natural. That being said, that these are the things that we're not addressing in healthcare. That at 25, your anxiety, your depression, all of these things should not be overwhelming, and that we aren't identifying the reason. No doctor is going to look at a 25-year-old and say, hey, maybe you're eating too much Burger King, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Chipotle, Slotsky's, Wiener Schnitzel, Cane's Chicken, all of these places, they make food to sell it. They make food that will last on their freezers, last in their shelves for as long as possible, so they don't lose money on it. So there's preservatives, there's coloring, there's all of these ingredients in it. When that goes into our body sees it as a foreign invader. It sees nutrition and it sees poison. And these chemicals are poison. Well, that is turning on our inflammatory response. And that is what's driving so much of our chronic conditions. I mean, because anxiety is chronic now. People are suffering from anxiety like never before. Part of anxiety comes from our body releasing cortisol. And when our fight or flight mechanism, that psychosomatic response to our body saying it's in danger, it releases cortisol. And cortisol cranks up your anxiety. It's telling you, hey, you're in danger. The problem is the enemy is within, and we have to address that. So just getting an anxiety medication to reduce that feeling of anxiety is not fixing the problem, which is your immune system triggering this cortisol response. So in order to reduce that cortisol response, we have to A, reduce the amount of toxins going into our body, and B, we have to find a way to cope with it, that anxiety. One of the easiest ways to cope with that cortisol release or that anxiety is with breathing techniques. Psychosomatically, our body breathes all by itself. We don't have to sit here and tell our body to breathe. We automatically breathe between 16 and 20 breaths a minute to keep us alive. It is one of our few functions that we can control with our brain. Studies show that when you reduce your breathing to less than 10, a good goal is somewhere around 5. When you reduce it through mindful breathing, sometimes box breathing is the easiest to explain. When you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and you repeat it. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold. When you do that and you reduce your breathing to about 5 breaths a minute, that resets your psychosomatic response. Your fight or flight mechanism gets reset, and that turns off that mechanism that is triggering cortisol. And by turning off that cortisol, our anxiety levels can drop. And so while mindfulness and breathing isn't right for everybody, it's a good place to start because you really won't know until you try. But these are the coping mechanisms that we can use instead of medications and stuff early on. Now, there's no doubt that some of us in our lives, we've been so unhealthy for so long that we absolutely need help from our physicians. But these should be temporary measures. The real help is in getting your life, your wellness, your spirituality. You see, we're a synergy of things. We're not just nutrition. We're not just skinny. We're not just fit. We have so many facets to who we are that we need to address each one and bring them all together to work for our benefit. And we can do it. So if you're interested in doing these things, stay tuned. I try to talk about all of this and to help you walk down this path of leading a healthier life and managing whatever chronic conditions you might have, because they all truly, unless it's a genetic thing, can be controlled with diet and lifestyle. And so tune in next time and we'll talk about something else.